Eve, I'm going to be teaching you how to do Picot Stitch, which is also known as beaded edging. This one's done around the edge of this pouch, so you can see. You can also do it around the outside of earrings. You're going to want fabric scissors, a piece of leather, and glue to start. So right now I'm just going to show how you put the backing on, which is very simple. So when you're cutting out your design, you want to keep in mind to keep just a little bit of space around your beadwork. You don't want to cut too close to your beadwork because then there's going to be no space for your needle to go through and latch onto material. So with your fabric scissors, very carefully cut around the edge of your design. Once your design is cut out, you can take your glue, you can take a piece of leather, and you're just gonna put a little bit of glue on the back of your earring or patch. Once you put the glue on, you're gonna want to maybe wait a few minutes just to make sure that it's dried properly. So once you feel like it's dried enough, you're gonna cut out your design again, following the outside of your previous cutout. Once you have your piece glued on, you're gonna take your needle and thread and you're gonna knot one end of it, and you're gonna leave a small tail on the other end so it's not doubled up, it's just one single thread. Once you have your thread ready, you can choose 2 color beads. You want to think about which color you want to be on the inside and which color you would like to be sitting on the top. So in this case, when I started putting my beads on the thread, I started with blue and then I went to pink and then blue. So you're always going to be alternating your colors, but whichever color is the middle color is going to be the bead that's resting on the top. So once your thread is ready, and you're going to start from behind. So you're going to pull your thread all the way through before adding on any beads, and your knot is going to be there to stop it. So I would like the first outside color to be dark pink, and then the bead sitting on top to be the light pink. So I'm alternating colors, dark, light, dark. And you're gonna bring them all the way down. And since your thread is coming from outside, you're gonna make your next hole from behind again. So once you have it kind of looped like that, you're just gonna come up through the bottom bead, the dark color bead. So the last bead that you've threaded on before making your loop, and you're just gonna pull it. So every time you're beginning, you're always gonna put 3 beads on your thread. Once you've done the initial stitch in, when it looks like this, you're gonna continue with only 2 beads at a time. So now light, dark. And pull it all the way to the bottom. Have your needle come from behind. Sometimes it's a little tough when you're reading through leather to grab the needle. So you're gonna pull your beads all the way down and then come through the bottom bead. So right now, your edging should start to look like this. As you can see, the darker beads are on the bottom and the lighter ones are on the top. And you always want to make sure that your thread is falling to the right side of the bead. You always want to try to have your spacing as evenly as possible, so that the edging as a whole looks even once you're done. And so you're just repeating the motion of adding 2 beads on, making a hole in the back, So I'm just gonna repeat this until I get to the other end. Then I can show you how to either add on a earring wire hook if you're making earrings, or to just tie it off if you were to make a patch or something. So once you get to the end of your beaded edging, there's gonna be one single spot where you can only put one bead, and it's usually the bead that rests on top. So instead of doing 2 beads at a time, you only do 1 at this point. So with the 1 bead, you're just gonna attach it. So you're gonna come down through the top of the neighboring bead. And then to tie it off, you're just gonna go underneath the row beside you. There's a piece of thread that's stitched there. You're gonna go underneath it, and you're just gonna make a loop and put your thread through that loop, and then pull it down so it makes a knot. And sometimes I loop it around through the beads again, just to make sure that the knot is securely in place. For those of you wanting to add on a hook, you can just go up through your neighboring bead instead of tying it off, and add maybe 1 or 2 beads. And get your earring wire, put your earring wire on, grab 2 more beads. So if you're coming up through this bead, you're just gonna go to the next one, then and pull down, make a knot, and then you have your earring wire attached, and that's it. Once you have it all tied off at the end and you want to get rid of this tail, you usually just trim it, and then I take a lighter and just burn it down, and it kind of just like melds together, then it lays flat against the surface there. Remember to try to keep your spacing even when you're coming through behind. The more even it is, the neater your edging is gonna look. But just like everything, beadwork takes practice, so it's probably not gonna look perfect on your first attempt, and that's okay. Hopefully you'll continue to bead. Enjoy!